responsibility weighing on her head. "Almost there," Terry said. "Look out the window. You can see the house now." Janine leaned forward. House? They were going to a house? Whose house? It was amazing, looming up out of the hillside, all white in a sea of green. The limo pulled up in front of the well-lit two-story. The house screamed class and sophistication, instantly transporting Janine to another era. Subtle lighting showcased the place perfectly, from the gleaming stucco walls to the red bougainvillea draping over the porch. "Okay, where the hell are we?" The driver opened their door. "You'll see," Melinda said, tossing an enigmatic smile over her shoulder. She slid one elegant leg out the door. "Come on." If this was some kind of surprise party, she was going to be really irritated. She'd made it clear she wanted nothing of the sort. The girls had promised. But since the others had already piled out of the limo, she had no choice but to follow suit. They'd made her dress up, and not in going out to dinner clothes either, but in a slinky cocktail dress that hugged her body way too intimately for her own comfort. Black, skin-tight, and revealing a dangerous amount of cleavage, Janine felt underdressed and overexposed. Of course, her friends were dressed similarly, not that it bothered any of them in the least. Then again, they had the bodies for it. Janine always carried that extra 5 pounds she couldn't seem to get rid of, while the others were tabloid magazine ready for whatever paparazzi happened to be lurking. Though she didn't spy any cameras. In fact, no one was out front. It was quiet, the only sounds those of their heels clacking on the walkway and a waterfall in the distance. As they approached the front door, it opened for them. Janine heard music. It was dark inside, so she couldn't see, but she stilled, almost afraid to move. Terry and Susan looped their arms with hers and dragged her inside. And then she'd been asked by a very attractive, extremely well-muscled security guard at the door to deposit her phone in a box labeled with her name. She turned to her friends. "Really?" "Trust us," Susan said. Her clutch was searched as well. "What is going on?" "You're going to enjoy this," Terry grinned. She shook her head, deciding to go with the trust thing. But it was weird. After the whole security thing, she wondered if they were meeting some political bigwig tonight. Ooh, or maybe an actor, and that's why they didn't want anyone to have their phones to take pictures. She really was at a loss, but her imagination was taking flight. As always. Her first thought as she stepped into the expansive foyer was a mixture of then and now. Very old Hollywood mixed with the sound and sparkle of today. But not at all garish or disco-like. Instead, it was warm and welcoming. A rollicking beat of rhythm and blues pounded in her ears, sexy, making her pulse thrum with excitement. But what really got her heart racing was the man walking their way. He wore a dark suit, white shirt halfway unbuttoned, revealing a light dusting of chest hair. He looked like he hadn't shaved today, but instead of looking unkempt, he looked, oh my God, he looked sexy as hell. As he drew closer, she noticed he was staring right at her. In this sea of gorgeous women, his whiskey brown eyes were targeting her. And he was smiling. His lips were full, and Janine's first thought was of what his mouth could do to a woman. "Bonsoir, mademoiselles. Welcome to Sneak Peek." Holy crap. He had just the hint of a French accent, as if he'd lived in the States for years, but hadn't quite lost the inflection. Why were her panties getting wet? It wasn't like she didn't regularly meet handsome men in her line of work. Good-looking men walked every sidewalk in Los Angeles. You could run into them at the grocery store and down every aisle, since they were as plentiful as apples. But this one? Damn. He hit her hot buttons in a major way. "I'm Felipe Delacroix, but everyone calls me Del. In fact, if you call me Felipe or, God forbid, Phil, I won't answer you." She smiled at that. He so didn't look like a Phil. "I'm part owner of this club along with my friend Alejandro Diaz, who I'm sure you'll see around here tonight. Please, come in and make yourselves comfortable." Terry